the division, okay? Division of functions. Okay, division of functions. Now, in the division of functions, there are things again that we have to recall or prior knowledge. The laws of exponent. Not only the laws of exponents, we have to consider the idea of factoring of polynomials or algebraic expressions. Okay? We do not forget the laws of sign number. Meaning, these laws are all applicable. They are all applicable in the division of functions. Meaning to say, when we divide, we have to recall this one, we have to recall this factoring, we have to recall the laws of sign number. So how do we divide functions? Definitely, we have to recall again the notation that when we are going to divide, we have in here the notation of functions, that is the quotient of f function and g function of x. Now, what would be the result if we are going to divide functions? What would be the result? The result will always be f of x over g of x. Meaning to say, this is the pattern or formula that you're going to use when you divide. Another, when you divide, we divide the definition of the function. Okay? We divide the definition of the functions. So that if we are going to illustrate that one, how do we divide? Let's try to define. We will define function. So what if our f of x is, shall we say, 2x minus 4. Another one is our g of x. Our g of x would be x raised to 2 minus 4x plus 4. Another one would be, let's try to consider another function, h of x. Shall we say, our function would be, that is the same as x minus 2. So these are the functions that we're going to use in order for us to illustrate how to divide functions. So let's try to have, letter A. Sabihin na natin, letter A example. What if we are going to get the quotient of f of x and g of x? This is the one that we're going to look into. Now, how do we do this one? How do we do this one? Meaning we follow the sequence of the pattern. So what is the definition of f of x? It says in here, f of x is the same as 2x minus 4. How about g of x? What must be its definition? G of x is equal to x raised to 2 minus 4x plus 4. The same as h of x is equal to x minus 2. Now, how are we going to divide? So having said this one, okay, so how do we divide this two function? Meaning to say we get its definition. What is the definition of that? That is the same as 2x minus 4. How about in here? That is the same as x raised to 2 minus 4x plus 4. Notice that the numerator is factorable. Meaning, there is a common factor. What is the common factor? 2. This one, 2x can be divided by 2. 4 can be divided by 2. So there is the common factor. The same as this one. What is this? Perfect trinomial square. Meaning to say, we derive the factor of this one. What are the factors? That is the same as the binomial. So let's try to continue. Okay? So notice, now what are the factor of this one? We have to factor it out, bring it out. What is left inside is x. How about here? minus 2. So notice that when I will return it back, x multiplied by 2, it will give you 2x. See? How about in here? 2 multiplied by negative 2, it will give you negative 4. That is how to factor them. Look for the factor. Why? Because you cannot divide directly. Okay? You cannot divide directly. Now what about in here? What are the factor of this trinomial? What is the factor of x raised to 2? X. Dalawang x. Ibig sabihin, ilang x ang pinag-multiply mo? We have 2x. Okay? X multiplied by x, it will give you x raised to 2. So, meaning, the factor that we have is a binomial factor. So, meaning to say, what about this one? When we factor trinomial, we factor the last term and then the first term. So that when we factor the last term, and the factor is to be added, it will give you the middle term. What are the factors of 4 that if you will be adding them, it will give you negative 4? Negative 2 and negative 2. Multiply negative 2. Multiplied by negative 2. Positive 4. Add them, negative 2. Plus negative 2. Addition of like signs. So that is negative 4. So meaning to say, the factors are negative 2. So that is how to factor them. Now, you notice, we have now the common factors in the numerator and in the denominator. That's the time we are going to cancel out or divide. So if we are going to divide this one, definitely it will give you a result of 1. Okay? So, meaning, when we divide, ayan, we cancel the common factors of numerator and denominator, then it will give you now a result of what is left? 2 over x minus 2. That would be the result. Okay? What is the result of f of x divided by g of x? The result would be 2 over x minus 2 for our letter B. Now in the letter B, I will be dividing g of x divided by h of x. Now what would be the possible answer? Now of course, we have to replace them again using its what? Using their definition. So what are the definitions we have in here? So let's try to replace them. So it will give you now g of x is the same as what? X raised to 2 minus 4x plus 4. How about our h of x, denominator? X minus 2. Notice again that when we divide, we use the idea of what? Okay? We will be factoring them. We'll be applying the laws of exponent and of course the 1. Okay? Now, so what are the factor of x raised to 2? X and x. What are the factor of positive 4? Negative 2 and negative 2. And these are the binomial factors. Okay? What about your denominator? That is x minus 2. Notice that they have common factors. Numerator and denominator. What would be the next? Then that's the time you divide. Or shall we say, cancel. So what is left? X minus 2. And so that is the result of g of x and h of x. So that would be the result. Okay? Now what about in here? The result of the f of x over g of x is the same as we have 2 over x minus 2. Okay? Now next, what about if we are going to consider letter C? Okay? Letter C. Our letter C would be the quotient. Okay? The quotient of f of x over h of x. What will be its result? Again, let's try to have. What is the definition of f of x? 2x minus 4. So 2x minus 4. Now what would be the definition of h of x? X minus 2. And so you notice that what we will be factoring only is the numerator. What are the common factors of numerator? 2 and the quantity x minus 2. Now over, that is the same as x minus 2. Now notice that we can have immediately the division of this one, and that is 1 multiplied by 2, it will give you 2. So what is the result? The result is 2. Result of h of f of x over h of x. So we have in here the result. Okay, so again, to divide the fraction divided by a given fraction, you recall what we call reciprocal. Okay? Reciprocal. What about if we are going to look for the quotient of f of x over g of x? Definitely, we follow again the same procedure. Only that when we divide, our numerator is a fraction. 1 over 2x. Our denominator is a fraction. That is 4 over x plus 12. Okay? X plus 12. See? We follow the same pattern. Only that when we divide, again, number 1, we think of the reciprocal of the denominator. After getting the reciprocal, proceed to multiplication. We will get the reciprocal of our denominator. And then we will proceed to multiplication. What is the reciprocal? Again, interchange. That is x plus 12 over 4. Okay? So that's it. And then after that one, multiply. So how do we multiply? 1 multiplied by this one, it will give you the same. That is x plus 12. How about this one? 4 multiplied by 2x, it will give you 8x. And that is the result of f of x over g of x. So that is how simple to divide. Now, again, let's go back. If you are dividing both fractions, or if the divisor, this one, divisor, or the denominator is a fraction, what will you do? Get the reciprocal. Get the reciprocal of our divisor. The divisor is always the denominator. Now again, what we will divide is the h of x over b of x. Okay? So we will divide that one. So what is the definition of h of x? We just copy. So h of x is a fraction. So what is that fraction? X minus 5 over 3x plus 7. Divided by another fraction, b of x. What is that? That is 4x over 3x plus 7. Now what would be the result? Again, to divide, you go over with the idea of reciprocal. Get the reciprocal of the divisor and then proceed to multiplication. That is the rule. Okay? Again, get the reciprocal of the divisor, and then proceed to the rule of multiplication. Let's try to have. Now, having said that one, what is our or what is our h of x? That is the same as x minus 5, that is divided by 3x plus 7. Okay? Now, multiplied by the reciprocal. What is the reciprocal? You just reverse. So that is the same as, we have in here, 3x plus 7 over 4x. Okay? Notice that we have common factors in the denominator and numerator. What are this? These are the 3x plus 7. Then the 3x plus 7. They will be divided and it will give you a result of 1, or in short, you cancel them. Now what is left now is, we have x minus 5 over 4x. It is already in simplified form. So that would be our final result for h of x over b of x. So that is the result. The result of h of x over b of x is equal to x minus 5 over 4x. Now notice that we have in here the next problem. The next problem we have is m of x is defined by 1 over x plus 9. And the other one is n of x is defined by 1 over x minus 9. Now our focus is to get the quotient of 1, m of x over n of x. Now again, we do the same. We try to get the definition of m of x. What is our m of x? 1 over x plus 9. How about this one? N of x, that is 1 over x minus 9. Okay. Now, having said that one, again, what is the rule? Get the reciprocal of our denominator or divisor and then proceed to multiplication. Laro tayo. Okay, so let's try to have them. M of x over n of x is the same as 1 over x plus 9 multiplied by the reciprocal. So what is the reciprocal? That is the same as x minus 9 over 1. Okay? So, meaning to say, pakadali, you cannot cancel this one. Why? They are opposite. Okay, so the result is you just multiply, numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. And so the result would be that is the same as m of x over n of x will give you a result of x minus 9 over x plus 9. That would already be the final answer.